Hello, and welcome to Plants Reacting to Music. Now, this is another experiment with a tomato plant, the same seed as the previous experiment I did with Cannibal Corpse. A 30-day trial, and I gotta say, some pretty tragic results with this guy for whatever reason. Maybe it's the music. Hard to tell, but I'm gonna go with that. So, I'm gonna start playing this here. And here we go. Okay, so Sprout happened to be very sprouty. It was it was right on par with the previous experiment I did with Cannibal Corpse, except in the first week it was about a quarter of an inch shorter than its brother. So along the ride here. Now this is about sort of, when did I do this? Okay, so yeah, this is about still a week in, and it's growing pretty healthy. So regular waterings like the last time, and the same light, 24 hours a day. So everything was the same, except the turnout was really different. Now here, I'm gonna repot it here pretty soon. No, not yet. So once the repotting takes place, which should be coming up here any second now, and you can see, it's growing pretty healthy. It's reaching up to the light and getting pretty tall. And so it continues to grow pretty healthily. Now, let's see. Should be any second now. We repot it. Any second now. See, sometimes I forget to turn the light on, or I have to shut the light off for some reason, but, it's not for long. So here's where the second leaves start kicking in. Its length didn't grow up, it just grew out. So it stayed 1 3/4 inches for a good solid week, and then it hit 2 inches right about here, and the sprouts are just as big now as the initial baby leaves, or whatever you call them. So here's the transplant into the soil, and it was going fine. It was growing well, and it was picking up. Sometimes when you repot it, it takes a couple days for the roots to adjust, and then it really just bounces out. But this one, it got to about 2.5 inches at a certain point here, probably close to around here. But you can see, now it's adjusting. Its main leaves are now starting to produce more sprouts, and it's looking very healthy. It's very green and rising upward, which is something that you'd normally see in a plant with a 24-hour grow light growing on it. And then right about here, it seems to be getting a little droopy for whatever reason. I kept the same watering as I do with every plant I have, and they all seem to enjoy it, and I didn't vary too much, so I don't know what the deal was. It just started getting really kind of like, really kind of sick and tired of the music or something. I don't know. See, it's like really droopy. It's like, ooh, nothing's really happening here. It got to about 3.5 inches tall, and the previous plant at this time, 3 weeks in, the previous plant hit 6 inches. So or 6.5 inches, 6 to 6.5. It was growing like 1/2 inch every day for a while. But this one is just kind of standing still, and holding pretty steady at 3 inches and not really moving much. So you can see now that the leaves are starting to turn inward, but the top leaf, which is interesting, this new sprout, is pretty healthy, and it's starting to try to grow. So I think it's trying to ignore the first 2 stems and really it's focusing all of its energy on this one centerpiece, and it is really pretty weird. Yeah, so that's gonna be it here in about 5 seconds. So that's what happened. Really interesting experiment. I thought for sure that it's restarting. All right, so I really thought for sure that having some sort of music that was ancient, or something to do with the past, with raw instruments and raw vocals and just some sort of ancient language, I thought for sure the plant would love it. But for whatever reason, it just did not want to really go far. It's just really stagnant and just barely growing. I don't think this would have produced a tomato in 6 months, to be honest. So, interesting experiment. Well, there's that. And I don't know if I'll do another one. We'll see if I have the time and energy to do it. It is kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah. So yeah, extreme metal beats like ancient folk Nordic stuff. Weird, I know, but there you have it. All right, cheers.